Welcome to Love Them Knives channel. LTK here. We've got a knife. We've got a TwoSun knife. We've got a very large TwoSun knife. It's the TS23. Yes, it is. And yeah, I think they've done some weight reduction in the scales. That's the true way to skeletonize things. All the way through. G10 on both sides, so it's a liner lock. And I'll tell you what, it's a strong liner. Yeah, it's a little bit of a push to disengage this. It's not too bad. It's getting better. A little stiff when it came out of the box. But I'll tell you what, that's a big old blade, isn't it? And it's sharp. I know I was shaving a little patch on my arm the other day, so let's see if this thing... Oh, yeah. What's so funny about this is that it is... woo, yeah, slides right off. Yeah, just like that. Just like I'm moving my blade. Yeah. Nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. You get it the right way. Boom. In any case, now that I've made a huge mess, you want to help me clean it up? Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Another tree bites the dust. Oh, well, we recycle, so we're in good shape. Big old knife blade. 420J2. 420J2. You know, the last knife I had with 420J2 steel was like the United Cutlery Gil Hibben designed Rambo 3 knife, which I loved. I really did. And it was 420J2. I guess, I mean, you can read up on the knife stuff, and maybe I'll find that Wikipedia link again and throw it down, because they discuss all the knife steels on that site, and they talk about J2, but it's, you know, it can be used for surgical steel, or, you know, surgical instruments, or, you know, it'll sharpen up. It's not a super steel, that's for sure. It's highly corrosion resistant. It's a good stainless, you know, so that kind of thing. But no, it's not a high-end, expensive steel. And it supposedly has KVT bearings on this knife. So that's interesting, isn't it? Check it out. Perfectly centered. What a hilarious deal. Look at these back spacers. Standoffs. Whatever. Cool. Thick old stainless liners. This liner's not the easiest thing to push aside. It's fairly stiff. But I mean, you got a good pass through here. So, not that bad. So I'm not going to be a big baby and whine about it. No, it's not that bad. It's just something to get used to. And the flipper tab, yeah, well, it's not, you know, terribly chamfered and rounded, but it's not like sharp like it might snag you or cut you or anything. It's just sharp angles. I mean, it's just crisp angles here. And kind of interesting, they put a hole through there. Apparently you got a lanyard hole. That's nice, because no, there's no pocket clip. That's too bad, because you know what? Even though, check this out, even though it's a big knife, and it is, it's like 4-point-something inches. Somebody's giving me a hard time about my ruler, going, that is the most complicated, crappy ruler. It's like, well, but it's both metric and, you know, for the people that aren't locked into SAE, because believe me, metric is more universal around the world. Not trying to defend it, just saying. But, you know, you're kind of looking at basically a 4 1/4 inch blade, maybe arguably a little over that, depending on where you lay your ruler down. A lot of people, when they do those comparisons, they like lay it down like that. It's like, that's 4 1/4, you know? So it's a big blade, probably the biggest TwoSun knife, folding knife blade that I've ever had. And overall, whew, 9 3/8, 9 1/4 at least, you know? So you're talking about 23.5 centimeters and what, almost 11 centimeter blade, like 10.5. I mean, 10.5 centimeter blade, yeah. So that sucker's big. That sucker's a big dog. It's a big knife. But you know, okay. So I got a ZT0452CF that's 4.1 inch blade, whatever. So, you know, this is not that much bigger than that. But, I mean, there's no pocket clip. And it's a, you know, you could undo this, and there are some TwoSun knives that have a single screw this size that have a pocket clip that operates on a single screw like that. So you could swap out with another knife, but it's like, why am I going to disable one to put a clip on the other? So maybe you can go on, you know, the web, eBay, any place, you know, where they sell pocket clips, just generic stuff and this and that, and maybe grab you one. Because I think that would be good. I would like, that would be nice to be able to pocket this knife. And, you know, they got this knife, and then they've got one that's got kind of a sculpted blade. It's the same, I mean, sculpted scales. It's the same as this, but it's got that Jen Zanzo kind of waved, sculpted scale. So both of them, other than that, are the same knife. Yeah, they are. But yeah, I mean, really, flips pretty good. This big old blade. In any case, let's see how much it weighs. Let's see how much it weighs. 5.8 ounces. That's not ridiculous for a knife that big. And 166 grams. It's not that bad. 167. 5.9. Can't decide what it weighs. Can't decide how many grams. But it's pretty close in there. Okay, so. How fat a dog is this? I don't think this is that fat as far as 0.53 of an inch. So that's pretty good handful. 13.5 millimeters. Okay, so what do we got for blade stock here? Maybe 4? What do you think? And now 3.2. Kind of, sort of. And come on. Please. Okay, 0.1. A quarter. You know, an eighth inch. 0.125. Right there. So, okay. So not real huge, heavy, thick blade stock, although it seems adequate. Yeah, it does. So I don't know. I mean, I got this knife and it was just kind of a lark, and I was on eBay and TS23 whole. Whole. Of course, the beginning of the listing kind of starts at the bottom of this page. It's so weird. And then it continues on. It's just the way it printed out after I got done. So here was the seller. And him and TwoSun Knives is another seller. And there's several on there. And I bought it for $15.50. So, you know, what can I say? Free shipping. And it only took 2 weeks to get here. It was pretty quick. Maybe a little less than 2 weeks. So, hey, I mean, I know it's not the fanciest steel in the world. Oh, here's the stuff. 236 millimeters, you know, blah, blah, blah. Blade thickness, 3.3, that's right. Blade length, yeah, that's about right. Grams, yeah, a little bit lighter than that. I think it was one 160s, but there you go. KVT, ball bearings. Hey, no pocket clip. They told you. No pocket clip. I just wouldn't listen. Wouldn't listen. But not terribly refined. No. But it flips pretty good. Not the sparkiest flipper I've ever had in my hands. I mean, you can just push it out if you want. So the detent is not that incredibly good. See that? I mean, so it's like a 6 on my scale. I mean, it's not like it's just going to fall out. But, you know, so if you don't have an incredible amount of detent, when it breaks loose of the detent and the detent's not that strong, then it can fail. But, well, look at that. Okay. I mean, can we push button? Well, with this thing laying back like this, the ability to push button increases a lot, because if it was going forward, it would be tougher to push button. This, not so much. There you go, push button. Light switch, not a problem. It's fairly high. It's not a real tall flipper tab, but there you go. And so it's not really snapping forward. It's kind of rolling forward. It's kind of taking its time getting there, but I mean, I'm not failing it a lot. You can fail it. You can just gradually push it out if you want. So, I mean, but if you just put your finger to the top of the scales through that, you know, follow through on the flipper tab, it flips open. So, yeah. It's got bearings. Hey, it's $15.50. And it looks like I think you can pick them up for not much more than that. I mean, just follow some of those auctions online. God bless America and all the ships at sea. It's, yeah, they're not expensive. So maybe you could toss for a cheap pocket clip or just put a lanyard through it, you know? Stick it in your pocket anyhow. I don't know. But it's a thinker. Just depends if you like this blade shape and this design. Yeah, I think this is going to go on one of my upcoming table sales, because this is not exactly my knife collecting, grail knife focus type thing, but as an inexpensive knife and this kind of Far Eastern type blade design, which would be, you know, you see these in India and that kind of thing, the blade design, maybe India, Indonesia, that kind of thing. The Middle East. Yeah, it's cool. Good sized blade. And these are not sharp and nasty. I mean, that's, you know, you can see that they've been chamfered, kind of deburred and stuff. So that's nice. And it's a satin grind. It's a sharp knife. I mean, I shaved a little patch right here on my arm the other day. It's like, yeah. See? And now, no arm hair. There you go. But, yeah, 15 bucks and 50 cents. Forgot about that part. All right, guys. I mean, I don't know. TS23, what can I say? I get a different TwoSun knife. I got to put it on my channel. I gotta. Because they're amusing to me. They really are. I mean, they're all prices and styles and levels of workmanship and design, and, you know, but they're appealing to a lot of people, from, you know, where you would ordinarily maybe buy a Walmart closeout Kershaw to, you know, up into the $70-some level. Who knows where they're going to go from here? I mean, maybe they'll start throwing up, well, and they have, M390. I forgot about that. So, yeah, they go up into the $130, $140 range with the M390 they're using now. So it's not just D2 steel, and it's not just titanium frame lock. It's G10, it's liner lock, it's J2, 420. I mean, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right, guys, gonna cut you loose. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you'd like. That'd be awful nice. Hey, almost to 4,000 subscribers, so we're going to have a big giveaway when we do that. So hold on to your hats. You have to be a subscriber to be a winner on my giveaways. So think about that. And take care, because it'll only be maybe less than a week that we're going to have this big giveaway thing coming up. And it'll almost be my 1-year anniversary, which would be like July 11th, I believe. I'd have to look back, but it's around then, is when I kicked off this whole channel. So how crazy is that? Oh my God, time goes by. The older you get, right? Ah, it drives me crazy. You know, the older you get, the faster time goes by, and it's like, damn, one of these days we're going to hit the wall. and we'll be meeting Jesus. Thank you so much for your time. We love them knives, so stay sharp.